Hey, Bri, doesn't it suck that the boss is always over our shoulder when we're trying to talk?
Jay, he should be entertained by us. Let's get out of here and finish this conversation.
All right, as long as it's not work-related.
Jay, B, how's it going?
B, I am great.
I want to welcome everyone to the Work-Related Podcast.
We are related by work on Twitter. I almost said X just to fuck you up, man. I gave out the shout outs to our buddy B's birthday weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It's long forgotten now.
Yeah. Nobody cares about
I just
my
said
birthday.
we cared on Twitter.
Well, you guys cared.
That's right.
Shout outs to you and Tammy.
That was fun. Well, it was a whole more birthday weekend thing. It's great. I know it sucks. People come over and spoil your kids and stuff, but that enthusiasm you can't beat.
Oh, yeah.
Even still, like, no disrespecting the kids or whatever, Kai only stole when he had a limited time for it.
Yeah.
He had to go back to the tablet.
His tablet or
yeah,
his
like I
Switch.
noticed
Yeah.
that.
That's how he is.
We had a killer game. We all great and all that. And then I just noticed, like, he didn't care that he played a second game. He went to go play, like, the tablet or stuff. So
Yeah, he's all about his tablet,
the
man.
draw is real.
Oh, yeah.
It's
My sister came over on the Monday? I don't know. My sister and my dad came over, my father, and the first thing they did was play, Sire asked her to play foosball with him. So they were playing for a bit. And then Kai joined, of course. But yeah.
I know I don't have any patience for it. This is just a total sidebar. I realized that, I don't even know how you get a kid to watch a whole sport of anything.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like even like the F1 experience is one thing, and TikTok, it highlights maybe one thing, and they know Ferrari and Lando and Lewis and all that. But they love soccer and they love Ronaldo and Mbappe, and they're playing today. Like,
Yeah.
they're playing later on today, and I'm like, I wonder if you would even bring it up that they're playing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because they don't care, really.
But on the weekend, it's funny. Sire told me, he's like, this morning I went on my tablet and he watched all the highlights for all the games that day.
Okay.
So I
Nice.
was
That's
like-
good.
And then he was telling me about Mbappe's broken nose and
Nice.
like the bicycle kick and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you actually watching.
I mean, if he's that good at it, I'm impressed that he's. I don't know why I would be impressed, but I think that's how he would consume it all.
Yeah, it's kind of on brand, but it's still surprising that he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He found it on his own.
Yeah.
And he comes to you with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, it's not just that he's good at soccer, he still actually likes it. I'm not getting in there, but that's why it's criminal to
does.
take him out of it or whatever, right?
Which is why we're taking him. No,
No, you're not. And so, but like, I've realized, like, it's like the semifinals. They're lucky enough to not care about any of this shit, right?
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I use other people's teams to bring me down, even when my teams aren't playing anymore. That's the nature of sports. You want to live that high. But yeah, so they're playing. I go, I wonder, whatever, if they even know. But it's just it's too much of a thing to ask them to watch a whole 90-minute soccer game. Because you never
it's so
see
long.
Ronaldo. You never see Mbappe.
Yeah.
Every blue moon, you'll see them kick the ball for 5 seconds.
Yep.
Right? Or like it's offside or all
Just
that.
for that potential special moment.
Yeah. And so that's why it's like every sport, I think, is an old person sport, because we didn't grow up with those highlights. So you're barely there, right?
Yeah.
But I need the whatever. I don't need the game either. Like, I can just consume it like that too, but I get caught up in the hype in the moment. I want to see this. If I'm not doing anything, then it'll be great to watch a good match, maybe, like just to see how they fight, they play each other. But because they love these guys so much and they never really play against each other like this,
Yeah.
and it's France and Portugal and all, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the whole big deal, but it's just lost. It's
It
like,
is.
I even imagine if you said, okay, Sire, 3:00. Like, the pregame would be better because they would just keep showing them highlights.
Yep.
But even then, how do you even get their attention?
You
Like,
can't.
you wouldn't. If foosball doesn't hold their attention, then the soccer game on TV won't hold their attention.
No, it won't. You know the Knuckles show on Paramount Plus?
Oh, like the Sonic and Knuckles?
Yeah, but it's just all about Knuckles on this one.
Okay.
And Sire, they love Knuckles, right? And
hilarious.
so I was like, okay, so I'm like, one weekend, this was like a couple months ago, I'm like, you guys want to watch the Knuckles show? And then Kai was like, no. And Sire was like, yeah, we'll watch the Knuckles. So me and him sat, ate popcorn, watched the show. We laughed about it and stuff. That guy, Knuckles is hilarious, man. He's just he's
Back in my day, he was
hilarious.
just a sidekick.
Yeah, now this guy is just, it's just, anyways, he's like one of those. And so we watched the first episode. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, and then the next week, I'm like, you want to watch another one? We watch a little bit, like 10 minutes. He's like, gets up and he leaves. I'm just like, okay, well, this
Yeah.
is over. We haven't watched another
This is
episode. I'm like, I was enjoying this shit. Like,
So if they don't learn that now,
yeah.
right? Like this, we've talked about this in other ways, like the fucking TikTok generation, or you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
the attention span. Like, it's just gonna get worse? Like,
Yes,
or
it is.
Or is it when they just are that into something?
It is, because I notice it's getting worse for me. Like now, like as I slowly watch more shorts, I don't want to watch longer form videos.
Interesting.
And YouTube used to be short forms of longer form videos.
Fucking hilarious.
Right? So it's like,
oh my God,
it's
I
just
get
getting
it.
so much worse. And I'm just like, so sometimes I force myself to watch like 20-minute videos and stuff like that, because it's messed up that that kind of stuff actually does affect you. And can you imagine what it does on a kid's mind?
You know what? No, I mean, it's all theoretical, and you just have to assume if you recognize it to you and you see this, like I kind of see it with the kids. Or
Yeah.
whatever. When, so before I get off this, when Kai goes to play the game and not play foosball, is it just a solo game, or do you think part of that is to connect with friends, to play games with friends?
No, he plays with one friend,
Okay.
or he likes to play with Sire.
Okay,
Like
I
when
wondered
he
just
plays
before-
Fortnite and stuff. Like he likes to play with Sire and his friend. That's basically
So
what
when
it
they're
is.
older, I can more recognize the appeal to escape from the house and like be with my friends, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like more, because it wasn't like that for me. There was no online gaming. I still don't do it now. Like it's just so out of my system. Like playing online gaming is still a novel thing, like to me, right? But that's the way people play games now, mostly.
Yeah.
And so like it's a way to connect. The game becomes secondary.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like it's just what are most of my friends on, and then you just like get your whatever half-ass playing the game and just talking and shitting with your friends,
Mm-hmm.
or just doing missions with your friends. Like being with your friends is the more important part.
Yeah, winning with your friends.
Yeah, I mean you want to win, but just like you want to win fucking
Anything.
dodgeball and fucking recess or whatever, like any kind of thing you're doing, making your own teams. So that kind of appeal I get. This is where I told you personally, like I have to apologize for my bullshit opinion of Matt Rife,
Oh yeah.
right? Because I wrongfully just heard reputation about him, and he was this clip comic,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like you said, even the Sebastian goes, yeah, fucking crowd work and drop the mic or whatever. That might have been a little too much, but
Yeah.
but you know, whatever.
It
He's
was
trying
a
to prove
little
a point.
too much, but yeah.
He's not of my generation.
Yeah.
He's easy to fucking riff on a fucking 20-something-year-old. You know what I mean? That think they got it, or even finds a game in the system. It's like, yeah, I'm going to make these shorts, so I just crowd work, because it's impossible, even for me. Not impossible for me I have to purposely sit down and watch a whole half-hour Cat Williams or a whole hour Cat Williams special.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, that was great. But that patience is kind of built in me. I can watch soccer and golf. Like, you know what I mean? Like sitting and doing nothing is right
Yeah.
up my fucking alley.
That's true.
Right? Like
That's
I get
true.
it, right? I don't need any friends for it. I don't need I don't need to connect with anybody. But it is fun to talk to you when a race is actually going on.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like I did that like last week. Whenever that gets to happen, I'm like, fucking, I like taking advantage of it. So I am
Yeah.
a bit of a hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, but I'm not talking about that part right now. I'm just talking about the clip part.
You can enjoy both, Jay,
No, I
right?
can, because I've come from the other one. It's all novel to me. I have to I still have to bring myself into the shorts world.
Yeah.
Like I see that. We're talking about hot ones. That's people don't have time for the 20-minute interview. The shorts about hot ones, like Audrey Plaza's reaction to every wing.
Yeah.
You can get everything you want really distilled into a
In a
fucking
short.
2-minute fucking
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
But you miss the interview.
Yeah.
You miss why I like Gwyneth Paltrow for no reason at all. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like you just, but they don't, the nuance of all that, it
Yeah.
kind of gets lost. Just
This
Uh,
generation has no time for the nuance, man.
but yeah, but I think every generation says something like that effect of every other generation before them.
Yeah, and so in the future when shorts are 3 seconds,
Really?
how did you guys watch 2-minute shorts? This is
You
ridiculous.
have 3 of them going on at the same time.
right?
Like I don't do we need Neuralink to fucking process all these fucking things more?
yeah, baby.
I don't know. So back to fucking like Matt Rife. So he becomes popular because the way he puts his material out there becomes
Yep.
the way to consume his material.
Did you know that was an accident?
What do you mean? The
So-
shorts?
Yeah. So he was on
What is
Jimmy
an accident?
Fallon, him putting the short up.
Oh,
So he said that he
I already
went
don't
to
believe it.
I'm kind of suspect. It's too much of a good story to be real.
Yeah.
So he said that he was like he was contemplating quitting because he was doing comedy for 10 years before. And so he's contemplating quitting, and his friend was just like, man, he had the video, the one with the black eye. He's like, they just put it on the short, put it on TikTok. He said he was on any other social media. He just got a TikTok. They're like, put it on. He's like, man, I don't want to do it. He was about to go to Montreal, I think he said, to do a show. He's like, I don't want to do it. And then he said before the show, he put it on, and then it started to gain speed and it went viral. And he said that year he was making 60 grand a year doing comedy, and then the next year he made like 25 million. His show grossed 25 million. So that's pretty crazy.
That's why I'm saying, that's why my only knowledge of him was from old school comedians, like these fucking TikTok comedians.
Yeah.
Like, it's not real comedy.
But it is.
No, of course, that's a bullshit comment.
Yeah.
It's not real comedy, just like Sire didn't see a real soccer game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But like, who's to say who's right or wrong? You know who's right is the 25 million viewers.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's where the proof comes in. And like you say, you get caught up in it. I dismiss it so much. It's like Matt Rife short, not for me. And then I said a thing, and it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everything you said, it's fucking like, and even if I know he's got these improv skills and all that, like, I'm just looking to poke holes in a funny 10-minute video.
Yeah.
Like, why do that? Like, what? Like, I don't gain any fucking, like,
You're still laughing.
I'm still laughing. Everything I want. Like, why would I hate watch this? Oh, I guess that was funny. No, or just fucking like slap my fucking knees. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, there's no problem giving the props for that. But I just got caught up in like his reputation of it or whatever. So I don't know where it ends. Like, I really don't. Like, I do think it's so the same thing. I don't know where it comes in, like in like music or whatever. Like the first, I don't know. Like, it's like somebody makes a record or like a tape or whatever. Go, oh, you don't listen to your music live?
Yeah.
Like you take it home? Like, no, that's not the way you should experience the symphony. So, well, not everybody gets to do that. You know what I mean? And
exactly.
so, is it wrong to have both? Like, it's a privilege to like. That's why I feel this. Part of being one of the few good things about getting older, it's a privilege because I know all of these things.
Yeah.
And I can be dumb enough to not get into the short game, right? But I could just like, I'm taking it all, but I have the knowledge. It's like, yeah, I remember nothing. I remember none of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna appreciate it all and not really be that critical. That's such. I mean, I'm lying right now as I say that. Like, 'cause it's so easy to fall into that critical mindset.
I know.
It's easy for me to talk positive about you, about things that work that are first that you don't like, and say like all these positives because I'm witnessing it all, right? And like I've not tried to do what you're doing, but I've seen it. It's just like, yeah, you might find a better place than this. It's how dare I say, look how good it is, and you're not ever going to get it as good here.
But right? I'm not.
You won't know until you try, but. How much are you know what I mean? Like banking on that happening and not recognize what's here and not really seeing the long game. If you were like another generation younger, how frustrated would you get that you're not getting the results you want right away, right? And to say, listen, that's not how it works. We're dealing with, you know what I mean? Like real world shit here.
Yeah.
None of your TikTok experience is going to fucking last here. But it's to be the same thing. Yeah, but now we have a TikTok manager in the office. Like, does that affect me and the way I need a mag drill and all that shit? Like, I don't know. I can make it. Or I can just say, yeah, I hope she's good at her job. Or he, sure.
They could be they.
Thank you. Now, is that on me? That holds, you know what I mean? Like, you could fight that day, but like, good luck.
Yep.
Right? Like, yeah, I mean, it's not a conspiracy. Like, I don't know how much of these, like, do you get into a conspiracy mindset when you think of this, like the short generation? Like, whose fault, is there a fault to be blamed for that?
I don't think it's a fault. Fault is money.
Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, is it YouTube being a little nefarious, fucking with our attention span? Like,
I know some people say that, but you know, they always say like things go where the money goes. And if the market is saying, hey, this is what we want, if you test freaking 2-minute videos and people keep watching these 2-minute videos, you're just gonna make more of it. And who cares about when Facebook started, they didn't care about the social consequences they were going to get with online bullying and all this kind of stuff. They didn't care about that. They said, people want this, we need this, and it makes us money, and that's just what they went to. I don't think, I've heard a conspiracy that Facebook doesn't care. I don't trust Facebook, for the record. I said this on this show before, but they don't care about mental health. They don't care about all this kind of stuff. I mean, they probably do, but they're a business, so I don't think it's a conspiracy to that effect. No.
it is. Well, yeah, I agree with you the way we're talking about it like that. I do think it's like, I think the world's better off because Facebook was invented,
Absolutely.
right? Like all the
Absolutely.
negative that comes with it are just real world problems that we're a little bit more. We have to pay more attention to.
Everything comes with problems.
And but even when it comes, I think the money part can fuck with it. It can skew it because where's the money coming from? One person has a lot of money and they get to fucking dictate. You know what I mean? Like
a lot.
why it's so powerful. And this whole data collection thing becomes, but nobody. It wasn't built for data collection, but it was
became.
nefariously used for that afterwards.
For sure.
And so
Money.
now we're kind of aware of data collection. So this is kind of my stance on why TikTok shouldn't be banned. Right?
Yeah.
Like it's the way things are operating now.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It shouldn't be banned in the way that they're going. But that's the thing. Like that's the thing with conspiracies. Like if we go, well, you know, is China doing warfare? I may not believe that, but is it? Do we really know? Like, did you watch the thing where the guy said he's not even the owner of TikTok said he's like, I'm not even Chinese. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know the ins and outs. I just know the very basic bitch.
So he went to Congress and then they kept hammering him about the Chinese government and stuff. He's like, I'm not Chinese. Like, I'm not even Chinese. I don't know what you're talking about. I think it's the company's based in China,
yes.
But he's saying like, it's not like that. But you never really know.
I've always had the problem or the mind, like if there's a warfare going on, it's to control our dollars.
Oh yeah.
And I think the data collection that's been going on our own soil or Western, like non-Chinese, whatever you want to fucking say, is worse.
Oh yeah.
I think like Congress's problem is that they have less control over this one popular app.
Yeah, they want it all.
Like if it was Overcooked and we all of a sudden were just playing the whole nation's all Overcooked, they would find a problem in that.
Yeah.
It's like who's controlling it? Like something that like even the internet in total that they can't control right away, they have a problem with.
Yeah.
So I see it like that. I agree. Like I'm very ignorant on the Chinese warfare and all that kind of stuff, but it's the warfare of our data was a game that was created on our own soil.
Absolutely.
And now TikTok comes along and it's just it capitalizes on this content thing. It's just basically more TV. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's a way to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much. So most of the things I've heard of how this conspiracy works, and this is like if you check out China's algorithm, like the things that they watch on TikTok compared to the things that we watch on TikTok, I think that's fucking retarded. Like the things they watch in Germany are not the same things we watch here.
Yep.
The same things they watch in England are the same things they watch here.
Canada and United
Jamaica,
States.
they don't watch here. Like it might be the same, but of course, like China's fucking a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
So because we have more bullshit on our things, it's because we're full of more bullshit.
Well, reality shows started here.
That's what I'm saying. So we live in that fucking influencer culture.
Yeah.
We've promoted it. And then to mock a kid to want to be an influencer when me and you were part of making them want to be an influencer, not directly. Like you want your kid to do more than that with them, but just like fucking, you can't help that influencing became a thing.
Absolutely. And that's why I say it's the money thing. If we were all watching freaking educational videos constantly, TikTok videos, that's what would be pushed more.
And I think that naturally happens in China.
Yeah.
Right? Like, hey, they're watching more piano and violin lessons in China.
Yeah.
Huh, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Is that nefarious?
No.
No, it's because we fed it that way.
Yeah.
And then to ask for a big daddy to fucking like, oh, monitor us in the land of freedom. Like, it's such a fucking hypocrisy. And I fucking hate it. And so
no, their solution was you have to sell it to an American company.
Yeah. What's that? And then so we get the money.
Yeah.
So we get, it's not because, so there'll be no influence.
Yeah.
So we can influence you.
Yeah, we can
I see all that
capitalize
shit.
on it.
I don't know about they kind of threatened to tell you about this or whatever. So before I even get onto it, do you believe in the moon landing? Do you believe
Yes.
that? Yes. Have
Yeah.
you always did the thought ever occur to you that this might be bullshit?
Yeah.
I didn't have the thought that it was bullshit to like well into my probably 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm fucking an old man born in 1970. So I just assumed it was a thing that happened. My step fucking dad clown he even had like he was a history teacher and shit. And he had the front page of the paper, like man
that's
walked on
kind
the
of
moon.
sick.
Yeah, it was cool for the time, right? But now also like it's hard for me to not entertain the idea that it might have been faked.
Now, to what point do you think it's faked? So, do you think we've?
I don't know
never-
if it's faked. I'm
do you
not
think
sure.
Do you think we've never been to the moon, or
Uh,
do you think? Because I have a different stance on
So-
faking the landing.
Well, so like I said, so for the longest time, I just was taught that.
Yeah,
It was almost like if I believed my dad when I was, or like England's the best country in the world. We do no wrong. Okay. And then you're
Yeah.
like 8 years old and you fucking hear somebody else's story. Okay. But if I never left the house or do that, you know what I mean? I would always believe that. So the moon landing was like 1+1. Like, look at it. We did this. We beat the Russians. It was a thing. Just
Yeah.
like everything. World War II and all that. There's more cut and dry too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we won. We did all this, right? Because I'm English and we had the. I didn't even realize, like, 'cause then you live in Canada and that you get the American versus Japan side of it more often, and the nuclear bombs and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
But that wasn't really talked about in my house. My household was like mocking the Germans and, you know what I mean? Like feeling good about beating them and type of thing or whatever, right?
yeah,
And so that was the kind of story here. But and the moon landing was like just kind of part of history like that. And then I don't even remember where it first was. Probably podcasting and shit. Just like, yeah, the government lies to us all the time. And it took me a minute to believe that, yeah, that could probably happen. And then it's like all these contradictions on how the moon landing was so hard to do and it would have been easier to fake and all these kind of things. And so for a while I entertained like, maybe it's not true because you I don't know another example right off the top of my head, but other things you thought were true, like the England thing, and then just like realize, no, like let's just scratch into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what would they gain to faking the fucking moon landing? And then you just whatever, you fall into that conspiracy hole. Like flat Earth, I'm never going to join.
yeah.
Right? Like I don't believe. I think the conspiracy to think that is true is not like fucking. But the moon landing part, I really don't know. I think if we did go, the one thing that kind of gets back to me is if we could have gone to the moon, we would be on the moon now. I don't know, like the money that was spent to do it, like just to abandon it all. Like I've heard that like Chinese rovers might be going on there. Like to go to Mars and to skip over the moon is kind of weird to me. Like I get why it would go there, but it makes me think of this is just how do we make this more popular? The moon's passé. Mars, that's where the money is. Like follow the money. And so why was this the moon abandoned after all that kind of stuff? I don't like to think that I'm being lied to like that.
Yeah.
That makes me mistrust anything. So that part really is like faith. Is faith holding me to that like reason why we did it? Or that it really happened?
Yeah, yeah.
I heard a podcast not too long ago and it was on Rogan, and this guy had mountains of evidence that the moon landing was fake. And I found holes in his evidence. Like they were like taking a supposed shot. He was like shots that he said were maybe in a studio with these shadows and all that. And it's like, this is kind of compelling. And the fact that they never went back and like, I don't know, like I'm not as convinced as I was as a kid that it was 100% true.
I believe it's true. I believe if they faked it, it was only because they faked it because they didn't get there first. I think that's the only reason that the United States and NASA would have faked it. I think it's very plausible for them to get to the moon. I think we've accomplished so many things as humans that getting to the moon is not that far-fetched.
Okay, how is that not just a fucking thing you're throwing out? Because I believe that there is a space station, right? Like
Yeah.
we're like some people out there with flat Earth and all that. So I do believe there's a space station, but
For sure.
apparently the distance between the space station and the moon is a lot more.
Yeah.
Like in your mind, in my mind, I believe like, oh, the space station. Well, so if they go there, they can go to the moon too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe there's no real reason to do it, but we do so many things with no real reason to.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just don't get like, and we're like trying to like trap meteors, like asteroids, to get their fucking minerals and all that kind of shit. Like
I think there's nothing on the moon. I think there's nothing there worth. And they've been there several times. They've been to the moon several times.
yeah,
More
I know
than-
now it's not
Yeah.
it's 100% that like China's got rovers on the moon.
Yeah, many countries have been to the moon, right?
many.
Yeah, like 3, 4. Like
No.
yeah, I know China, India, Russia, and the United States have all been to the moon.
Didn't know India and fucking
India just went to the moon like a couple years ago.
See, now I don't believe them.
Yeah,
Them fucking lying
well, you
bastards.
never know, right? But like a lot of people have gone to the moon, and like
All right.
it's like that's like, yeah, I can see that's. I
would think that more young people, and throw you in there too, like more young people would think that it's a lie. Like I think we're so used to being lied to about other things first.
for sure.
And I don't have another example, but I just like it's just how I don't know, it's just how they, you know what I mean, like how they operate.
There's no reason to lie about the moon. The
Yeah, it
moon-
was at the time.
At first, they were. It's all because as humans, we are just explorers. That's just what we want to do. We would have never discovered the Earth if countries in the Earth if we just weren't natural explorers. You would never go outside our cave, or you'd never want to explode in a submarine. You know what I mean? We'd never fly airplanes. We're just naturally explorers. So after conquering sea, well, we didn't really conquer the sea, but sea, air, and land, what's next? You go to space. So that to me seems very logical that that would be there. And then they get to the moon and they're like, okay, we've studied moon rocks for decades. What's more here that we need to do? Well, you know, there's a planet there that's similar to Earth that could have potentially have water. We have to go there, which is Mars. So it's like, that is the next spot. And then what's after that? Galaxies, solar systems, you know, like we're just naturally curious like that.
Isn't part of that so right back at, and I'm just being devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
We don't know when to stop. We exploit everything.
We're stupid.
We also exploit, we'll fucking, like, we don't discover any of the ocean and then we just pollute the fuck out of it. We take all the fish out of it. We don't care. We just wait till we come to a point. To just abandon the moon, like to not exploit the moon.
That is another thing. There's nothing there.
No, that's what, and from 1967 technology, you didn't find anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we have LiDAR now. We're finding all these ancient civilizations in the fucking jungles of South America and fucking Europe, even, like things that should have been built upon that our technology has allowed us to not like just go back and double check on something, right? Like to just like totally like just like I said, for us to not exploit the fuck out of it is the part that makes me think fucking like it's not real.
Weird.
Like we don't do that to anything. We play it out till it's the bitter end, and then we say fucking go. Like it's just like even blowing yourself up in a submarine to see a boat at the bottom of the ocean isn't stopping somebody from doing it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like there is no reason to not try it again.
Someone is already planning to.
Just like you said, because that's our human nature.
Yeah.
And that's why other countries have apparently gone to the moon. So I don't like, yeah, I'm more inclined to think that if it did happen, like maybe they went back, but it was such a different time. Like you could get away with bullshitting in the public.
Now I want to know. Let's see what Google says. How many times
have they gone back to the moon?
Should I specify this to NASA or should I specify this to humans?
How many times? Yeah, whatever. Say all the countries in the world. How many times? How many times has the moon been visited by aliens?
I put humans and it said humans been to the moon. 12 people have walked on the moon. Right?
Okay. That's fucking, you know what? Already that's 8 more than I thought, or 9 more than I thought.
Yeah. And the first crew was Apollo 8. Then the next crew was Apollo 10.
That was Apollo 11 landed.
Oh, no. The first crewed mission to enter lunar orbit was Apollo 8. So they went there in 1968. They just never landed. 6 missions landed humans on. So they've been, now this is NASA because it looks like NASA. It says Neil Armstrong, so it has to.
Where's
be NASA.
China's fucking input?
Nobody
Hey, fucking see, your Google is fucking censored.
This is Wikipedia.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. So there's been 6 missions that landed humans on the moon. That's it. The United States, the Soviet Union conducted uncrewed missions.
They send like monkeys and dogs out into space.
Yep. And shit.
So I'm just as a way to
I don't know.
conspire against the public. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's fine. Like I think it's a lot more faith that you have to believe it happened and why would they fake it and all that kind of stuff. But it's just not concrete to me.
Yeah.
Like I've been in an airplane, I go up in the air and I land somewhere. Like that's I get it. Like I understand how all that kind of shit works. And I believe that technology can get us further out of air and put us into space and all that kind of shit. And I do explore, but it's just the fact that they don't go back. Like when I hear somebody argue the fact, I listen to them.
But yeah, you're right. It is kind of weird. The exploiting part really, really throws me for a loop because you're right. We exploit fucking everything.
Yeah.
I just searched how many countries been to the moon. So they have Soviet Union, United States, Japan.
Shout out.
European Space Agency. Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is. China, India, Luxembourg. The fuck?
Oh, okay.
That's a country.
How passe is it now?
Israel, Italy, South Korea.
Holy shit. Have put people on the moon.
Yep. Emirates, Russia, Mexico, and Pakistan.
All right. Well, fucking my disrespect to the fucking. I guess we are exploiting the moon. It sounds
Okay,
like
this may not be people. It says missions to the moon. It doesn't actually say people, so we got to take that with a grain of salt there.
I
don't
appreciate
know
you deep
Luxembourg
diving.
can fly. Is that
Yeah, but that's what they fuck. Where do they get their money from, man? This
right?
fucking little tiny
The
country.
United
They got
States. That's where they got their money from.
No, they've been exploiting people in Europe for fucking forever. I get it. So this is where I'm saying, like, where do you stop? You know what I mean? Like the conspiracy of I'm comparing the TikTok conspiracy to the moon landing conspiracy in a way that they're both conspiracies. One doesn't affect me at all. Either they went to the moon or they don't.
Yeah.
And the TikTok one is just like, I want to watch these shorts. I don't want to discount the whole lot. Like, it's not a conspiracy that my feed is full of comedians and shitty dancers
Yeah.
and whatever. That's what I want to see. You know what I mean? It's not violin lessons or a thing. So that's why banning it, you know what I mean? Like that's more of the conspiracy. So they
you
can make it more
don't think TikTok should be banned,
I
right?
think I said that earlier. This is not what I wanted to make the pod about.
I have a conspiracy
Yeah.
about the Drake and Kendrick beef.
Oh, yeah. Is it back? Why is it back?
Well, it is back because Kendrick has done a show and he's performed the song 6 times.
The Not Like Us song.
Yep. He just released a music video yesterday about it. And like, so it's like all this whole thing. I am so sick of that. I don't know why I can't stand that song. I don't know if it's my Toronto bias or not, but I think that song is terrible. His voice, like everything's just so generic. I'm just like, fuck, like, are people liking this? But anyways, that's not what I'm
So
trying
this
to
is
say.
where so now you're sounding like me hating on Matt Rife.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I'm just like, this is ridiculous. But, you know, I went back to, so Drake put a tweet like 3 weeks ago, Instagram, and it said, this is going to be a fun summer. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be a fun summer. But just before the rap beef, you said that you're taking a hiatus from music for now. Like, it's going to be Drake's first hiatus, and he releases music yearly or like twice a year in types sometimes. So you're going to take a couple years off music. You're going to be your taking break to be with your family. And now all of a sudden, Kendrick Lamar, you have this beef, and now Kendrick Lamar is running the entire summer with this trash song. And he's going to drop an album. He's going to go on tour now at the point where the person who's dominated the music industry and especially the rap music industry for 10 years Drake's been dominating, and now there's a break, and now all of a sudden you have a beef, and now you're blowing up to like do numbers that you've never done before. I don't know. This seems kind of I feel like I'm being played right now.
By who? By Drake as well?
By Drake, I think they're all
I think
complicit.
it's all conspired.
Yeah, I think it's just like, okay, Drake, you've been on top of the game. They say he's a billionaire. They say Drake's a billionaire. And so now what's next? Well, you're going to keep doing this forever? Like we got to usher the new guy in.
You know what this reminds me of? This is like Hulk Hogan going bad.
Right?
This is like fucking a wrestling
Right?
fucking, this is like a
And
scam
who came
all the
when
way.
Hulk Hogan went bad?
I don't fucking know. Fucking
It was like no,
like again,
that was
I don't-
early on. That was early
I don't.
on.
I'm just saying, wrestlers could be like they change their persona.
They do.
They
do to usher things in. The whole thing's a dance.
Yes, and so I mean, that makes sense,
Right?
Like it doesn't like. So does that give you? So the only one of the negative things I think about on that is just like it makes me think there's less authenticity. Like it's none of it's authentic. Right, like it's like
hard.
I want to. So I couldn't understand when so I started hearing the Drake and fucking Lamar fucking beef back in it, and I was like, "Is there new songs?" I meant to bring it up to you. It's like, "Is it back?" And I kept hearing it again in the fucking vein of like, and it was the same fucking website, so that's why probably. But same thing of like, this guy's a winner, this guy's a loser. This is a winner, fucking this guy's a fucking loser, and it's all because then they're talking about the song again and all that, and. Part of me was just like, why are we bringing this up? So I thought something new was happening.
Yeah.
The fact that they're still playing on this months old bullshit is like, bullshit. Like,
And
like,
it's never been, rap beef has never been like that. It's always been like argumentative. Like nobody was really taking 100% sides, especially this much. Like it's always just been like, yeah, I know Jay-Z and Nas. Like, yeah, I know Ether and, Takeover. Those were the two big disses for the Jay-Z and Nas things. And like, yeah, no, this is better. It's always been an argument. The Tupac and the Biggie, it's always been an argument. And now everybody's saying, oh yeah, Kendrick won. And to my ears, I don't think it was that cut and dry. Like
my ears too, bro. But I think that's why.
So even, what the fuck?
So
what the hell's going on?
So is that
here?
just because you can't understand why you're wrong? And then so that's sometimes what I think about people if I don't think they're smart enough and they get to conspiracy.
Well, I mean, I can understand that because I can understand that people who like Drake will never say, I like Kendrick. You can say that song is better, this song is better, but people who are like Drake won't like Kendrick, and people who like Kendrick won't like Drake, right? They're never going to switch sides like that because you've already chose your side from Kendrick started in the beginning. And so I already expected that. But to see like in the music video, DeMar DeRozan is in it. And it's like there's just so much shit. It just seems so overdone and just so like, and I'm just like, this is not, I've never seen a rap beef like this that's been this ridiculous.
I think so just listening to it, because I'm on your side, and when I started here going again and seeing this angle that like this Not Like Us is so undeniable. Like, why are you bringing this up again weeks later? I heard you comment, and it's like now I have to hear rehashing how this fucking Metro Boomin is fucking winning and fucking this, like things I didn't really fucking get or even care. And you're bringing it up again. You're right. It makes you think of like who's gaining from this.
Yeah.
And yeah, a smart businessman like fucking Drake obviously is. It's like, how can we get our names back in the fucking business? Like we have this little fucking fake beef. And if back in the day, if record companies are in control of the media or whatever, the angle, like, and then it got taken away from them with the social media angle and all that. But now I think they've all figured out a way to fucking do it again. Like,
well, apparently Drake has a big stake in a record label that owns a lot of record labels.
So
you know
he has
no
problem. Every fucking penny that Not Like Us fucking makes, even if we think it looks like a shot at his reputation, even if we don't agree with it, it's not. The money is in Kendrick. It's the summer of Kendrick.
Yeah.
And why argue it? You know what I mean? Like, I can come back in the fall or whatever. I don't know, but there's a longer game at play.
Absolutely.
But none of the information being sent to me in my ears and head is real. It makes me disengaged in it totally.
Yeah. I
told you I like that Not Like Us song and I hear it, but every time I get back into this fucking discussion, the song I like the most is considered the weakest, like the tailor-made, and I'm just like, I know what my ears like,
right?
I can't, but I'm not gonna defend that to the death.
No,
nobody's. Like, I'll get mocked. Like
no one's gonna listen to you. And like I've thought, like, how do I like? I don't even post on Instagram that much, but I've been dying to say, am I the only person who thinks this song is trash? Like, Not Like Us is okay. It's a mediocre song. It's very mediocre.
Not worth all of this.
No, and so the fact that it's just getting blown up to this, it really just makes me think that
there's an agenda behind it.
There has to be. There's so many better songs out there.
Whenever I hear agendas behind stuff, it makes me disengage.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like, I see the same thing. Even like I said, like the whole Moonlight thing, I disengage. The TikTok thing, like, I don't have anything in stake of it other than my time.
Yeah.
Like what I invest my time in.
Well, I'm not wasting that. Fuck that.
I hear you. I'm like the same way. I don't want to, but part of it is like we're privileged to get all of this content.
Yeah.
Right. And then we get to decide what we pay attention to and do all that. Like, I don't, it's like a product of the time. It's not the same as, I don't even know how to like change subjects on it or whatever. So I think it's just been brought up again so Kendrick could have his summer of Kendrick.
I think so too.
And I don't think it's ever going to get resolved in the way we want it.
No. One last point is that there's what's the media company? I can't remember. Pretty big media company. They've been going out and doing like random surveys. So they've done surveys with people. They've done surveys with WNBA stars. And they did a survey. It's just like talking to the person type of a survey. And they're saying, okay, Drake and Kendrick, who do you pick? And every survey they've done has been like 10-1 Drake. So I'm here wondering who the hell is saying this other song's amazing? It's just so much confusing. But yeah,
no. That's okay. We'll go back and forth this for a long time.
Like Caitlin Clark was on it, and
but this is what I'm getting at. Drake's a lover boy. So this is where your fucking surveys can be skewed.
For sure.
Let's go ask the WNBA who they like.
Yeah.
I bet you more the WNBA likes Drake because fucking he's more handsome than fucking.
For sure. But they also asked, one of the surveys was guys, and they were all like Drake.
I bet you,
Drake.
okay, for some reason, in my mind, you take the percentage of WNBA players, they're going to like Drake more, and I bet you the percentage of NBA players will go with Kendrick.
I don't think so.
Because they'll be more like American fucking, like hip hop fucking fans.
Yeah, but America is very split.
No. I'm not saying just because he's Canadian and all that, but
No,
not
America's
like us.
very split.
Not like
West
us
Coast,
angle is
no,
undeniable.
West Coast, East Coast.
But that's not as big as it was before.
It is because in New York they don't play the Not Like Us song.
Okay, you're right. Because it's so West Coast.
Yeah, so they're not. They don't even care.
You think Drake has New York?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Interesting.
They're very.
Okay,
or,
well, I
don't
was going
know.
with the
I don't know if Drake has New York or New York just hates LA.
That's
the
both
West Coast type of thing.
However you get the business,
Yeah,
it doesn't really
but-
matter. I was going more from the Loverboy angle. Like nobody.
Girls easy.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
what I mean. Let's go ask the WNBA.
For sure.
Let's go ask the women's soccer team.
Yeah.
Let's go ask
Yeah.
fucking whatever. So I could see that angle going, but that's where even that information I don't believe, because who did you ask?
Yeah.
Same thing with other whatever. Like I get why you don't want to smoke weed anymore because you'll start even going further.
Yeah.
Like fuck the moon landing. Like why is fucking Tylenol more fucking than Advil? Like you know what I mean? Like whatever. Like you question everything,
Absolutely.
and it's a bad place to be.
Oh yeah.
Like you should question stuff, but you can't. You got to trust everything now.
you
know,
can't
or
go
it's-
all the way down the
I
rabbit
know,
hole.
but like once you think, if you've ever proved right in a conspiracy, then it's really hard for you to fucking go.
I've never
back.
been proved right.
Um,
I've had conspiracies about people around me that I was so sure was true, and then at the end of the day, it was like, oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. How did you even get to this point? Like, you're so far off what the truth actually was. And I've had people have conspiracies about me, and then they've confronted me about it, and I'm like, no, that was way off. Like, what are you? Or the classic line, "What are you smoking?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you
no,
smoking?
that's why you're okay. Yeah, you're right. That gets back to why I
that's
don't smoke
way
anymore.
off. No, I did that because of this, not because I wanted to fuck your girlfriend.
What?
I was just trying to get some French fries. What are you?
What the fuck happened to you? That's a great
You
story.
know what I mean? So yeah, that's partially why. Like those kind of things really fucked me up, man.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. I've never really, like I said, this is like a newer phenomenon to me. I think, like it gets you into this. It's part of my problem with religion. I think it's a big conspiracy. You know what I mean? Like people
Yeah.
come together to sell their idea on stuff, and I've thrown the baby out with the bathwater in that.
Yeah.
When I hear somebody that's really good at saying some undeniable like how faith in any form, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, is around us all the time. Like I have faith they landed on the moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whatever. Of course, that might not be the one I hang my hat on, but I just have faith they told me they happened. I have faith in our friendship. I have faith in other things that like can go. The grander scheme of things, I'm just like, I'm not going to waste my time on that. Like it's not that important to me. But I also shouldn't be so dismissive. I can have my reasons of being dismissive of other things, but I want to be the type of person that watches the Matt Rife video and is able to say, I was wrong. I should have given this guy the time of day when I first heard of him.
Or I was right.
Or whatever, but yeah, prove yourself right.
Yep.
It gets even more, like I said, like our work-related conversations were done before our work-related podcast, but I'm sure I talked about it on the show a little bit with my frustrations with Ali. Certain names are being thrown. Where I'm like, why does this guy not want me to do the fire trucks? Or why is this? What did I do? We even talk. What did you do to this guy? Why is he like talking to me about you, like your area, this on other jobs, and then the fire truck thing? Like, why is he like going around telling people I don't want to do this when I didn't have to go and talk to them myself? And I lived in that frustration, and I'm still kind of in it.
Yeah.
But the second I hear that he does it to somebody else, that I recognize is total bullshit, that he just wants to get somebody out of a comfort zone, you as a leader just are trying to find people with comfort zones. So that second I go, oh, making this grander, oh, this was a bit of a conspiracy I thought against me, but no, this is just one person and their ability to affect change in my life, but it's not a grand conspiracy. It's
Yeah.
one person abusing his power,
Yeah.
and I can't change this one person. I can't. If it was me that did something wrong, like what can I do? And I'm confused. And I thought I did everything. I thought I talked to the right people. You find out, no, that person's deferring this information to this person. That person go, oh, I'm a little let down on that. Not because I enjoyed talking to those people at the time or for what I was doing. I thought it was worth it. But I realized that it's not. I can only take that and live in that thing. But it wasn't worth it for me to get what I wanted out of it. I wasn't doing it for a political reason. I was doing it for what I thought was the right reasons.
Yeah.
And if you're letting this one person derail all that, well, then there's no reason for me to try to fight it. And so I just retreat into just a normal workers thing and just make my trucks the best I can.
Yep.
And so I was like, I needed confirmation or whatever. Like I would have lived my whole existence thinking like I did something for this situation to be. I see that same situation play out somewhere else. And I go, oh, no, this is more one person's problem. And so I'm absolved of everything.
Yeah.
I could go to the mat and be a fucking booby and have a fucking half-hour meeting with the fucking HRI guys. They fucking, this is what I've done, right? This is what booby fucking got it all written down for fucking years now. But I would just say, this is what I tried. This is what was done. I just want you to know this without me. Not to get the other person in trouble, but I'm living in this part. Like, I don't think you know everything.
Yep.
And so just take control of it. But without kind of hearing that, I would just like, I was relieved to hear that it wasn't me. It was him.
It wasn't 100% personal.
And so I get that. But like, if I didn't find out that little nugget of information, I wouldn't have gotten that relief.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have got to, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been more frustrating for me at work. And so that's where, for the two of us, we separate because you are affecting change and you're dealing with this more affects you. And we're putting we in this thing. We're trying to figure out a way for you to not be as frustrated with it. You know, like keep going on your path. These roadblocks, whatever. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's like a little conspiracy that, like, I don't know. Is it similar to a conspiracy? Like,
Yeah.
you feel conspired against?
I feel conspired against.
And so I see that to you and okay, that's true. Everything that you're saying is true. What can you do about it? And in this part we talked about, you have to be a little bit more defensive, right? Like, offense is what you're about. Offense wins and all that, but defense wins championships. And I was trying to say, if you don't have your defense like shored up, then you're like me with the fire trucks. Like, you're never going to get where you want to go, right? Like, I have no defense about the people that don't want me to do it. I can be real frustrated at the higher ups that come to me and say, well, why aren't you doing this? And think, why are you asking me? I've given every indication that I want to do it, and you've trusted somebody that didn't pass that on to you. All I can say is I had that information at the time. So now, like we talked about last week, you have the thing that money does not buy. You have the respect of a fucking 10-man crew, whatever, it could be more. But that's, you don't get that by bullshitting them. And that's what you need to live in. And that's apparent, and it'll go. You keep going on the trajectory, all these people that conspire against it are going to go away. I'm eventually going to build fire trucks again.
You think so?
Yes. Why? Because they're getting bigger contracts for fire trucks.
Yeah.
And I'm not a butcher. I might not be the fastest, but I'm not a butcher. And so I can get the job that they need done. It's, in my mind, from our conversation, they're confused on why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
We know why they're confused.
Yeah.
That confusion will go away if they communicate better. If I communicate, but I don't have the desire to. I don't need to. It's not I'm just happy doing whatever else is going on. But eventually, they're going to fucking dig into why this is going on.
Yeah.
The people that are conspiring against you aren't going to make it in the long run. The truth holds out. If the moon landing was fake, it will eventually be found out. It might be 50 years from now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we don't even know the JFK thing. Like, they still get to redact all these other powers.
Oh, yeah. We're going to release the JFK.
People that are in power still get to cling to that.
Yeah, we're going to.
So this is Ali's like a fucking guy holding on to the real JFK files, right? For no other reason to stifle progress.
He's redacting.
Yeah, but you're. How long does it become that you're a parent? Like not that, does it?
Depends on how blind people are.
So what I think to get off work or whatever, what it is, I'm still amazed that you and your wife are on Overcooked level 6.
Oh,
Okay, like, this is how good of a teammate. You know what I mean? Like, that's in my world, that's impossible.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck so how long do you think it took you to get like to that far?
Fairly quickly, actually.
That's
But
disgusting.
like I said, we beat the first one, so we already kind of knew what it was about, right?
So we are hanging our hats on that because Tammy's not a gamer at all.
Yeah.
And we assume Selena's probably more of a gamer than I am even.
I don't know about that.
I'm not a gamer at
She's
all.
more of a Mario
Yeah,
type,
Tammy never
Donkey
played
Kong
any of those
type
things.
thing. Yeah, so she likes those games, and we play those games together. Type.
Tammy finds it trouble the maneuvering and getting, and I do too sometimes, right? Like to
yeah,
get to the right
3D
spot.
maps are messed up,
So I'm very impressed with
and
that.
these characters are very clunky.
Do you? So is that level 6 3 stars every time?
Oh, so our goal is to always get 3 stars. We almost never leave a level without it being 3 stars. So if we get 2, we usually go back and try to get 3. Like
Right away?
yeah. And if it's very hard and it's proving like nearly impossible, then we'll leave it. So we have no, other than level 6-2 we're on right now, we have no 6-2. I think we have 2 stars and all the rest are 3.
Okay.
So that's how we do it. We just always go back.
Will you advance at all with a board at 1 or 2 stars? Like if you like finish world 5 level, like level 5 world 3, and then go to like, will you go to 4 before you have 3 stars and then go back later? Or will
Yeah.
we don't leave the board until we get 3 stars.
Yeah, no. If it's very extremely hard, then we'll just leave it, and then
I wanted you to say that you'll sacrifice in the fucking. I wanted you to give me an out to say that you'll sacrifice a star for progressing in the game.
Not unless it's impossible.
Because if you can get all the way to level, just if say we get to level 3, then like level 2-4 won't be as bad because we've done harder boards.
Sometimes the thing is, sometimes you're just better at some boards. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
get it.
And
Yeah.
you're better at cooking some meals. And so that's real. I think that's the real challenge of the game is the meals that they throw at you. The boards you can figure out how to navigate, but like some of the meals sometimes. Then when they're doing varieties, you're just like, oh my god! Like, get the
And are
fuck
you guys
outta here.
shouting at each other all the time? Not shouting, yelling, but are you guys like asking other people like to get stuff done for you, or are you just
yeah.
like stating what you're doing?
Yeah,
Like I'm doing this ticket, or is that how you do it? Like I need fuck out. Like
Yeah,
do you guys
so-
just pick a ticket and do it yourself?
it depends on the meal, but yeah, like if it's like the one we were doing now is like 4 ingredients in the mixer.
Oh
but
god, a mixer.
But some of them have to be cut up before, and some of them don't have to be cut up before. So it's like, I need this, I need that, and then she'll get it, or she'll say I can't get it, or then you have to put it in the oven after.
Holy
so
fuck.
so then
I'm
it's
so
like, and you only
scared.
have 2 bowls, and the mixer takes bowls. So you're just that's how we do it. We're just like, yeah, we yell at each other. And then it usually ends in like somebody doing something stupid, and we're like, "Oh my god!"
Throwing the fire extinguisher down the garbage.
You throwing the fire extinguisher down the garbage, or like this one has a fire extinguisher, and we kept getting surrounded by fire, so you can't move. It's
Oh,
just
no.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm very scared. I mean, I have, since you guys have done it, I know it's doable.
For sure.
But it's just, like, it's daunting. Like I said, we didn't play it again last week either.
Really?
Yeah, we
You
haven't
guys
played
got to
it.
get back on.
We will. We have it there. Like I said, but like, it's not frustrating enough to not do it. It's just,
Annoying.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I want it to be fun. And when
Yeah.
it becomes not, like, when does the game balance the fucking, like the annoying and fun line?
They don't, because they got to balance everybody. But you know, the thing with the stars is you need to have a certain amount of stars to unlock the next stage. So sometimes if you don't get like enough 3 stars or 2 stars, you can't unlock level 5 or level 6.
If you bitch ass it and just get 1 star in every board
Yeah,
in level 2,
yeah.
World 3 is not going to open up.
Yeah. And once you get to like 5 and stuff, you want to have like enough, right?
Well, I was just confused on when like I should just quit and throw the board up in the air and fucking go, it's not there now. So this is so we're going to be here next week, but I've talked this for a while there. So but my surgery is coming up.
Yes, it
my
is.
fucking 3-month vacation of fucking from work is I'm looking at it like that.
Are you excited?
In a way, I'm more a little. Let's see, I'm excited to get better. Like I've had some. So my future self and I have been having some arguments lately. The past like couple
Who's
of weeks.
winning?
Me. Fuck, my future self can't do shit. Just talk. I get to decide what happens here. Because I've been hurt. I think I don't know what this is about. This is not conspiracy or whatever, but this is like the closer it comes to happening, the more I feel it hurting me.
Yeah.
right? Like I just like notice it at not even just random spots, but like maybe because of the heat. I don't know. Just sometimes at work, like I've just been really kind of too sore, or using being kind of sore to sometimes not do my full exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I've been living it up at Memphis and getting other wings and some baked mac and cheese from the fucking Jamaican truck. Like
Jeez.
I've not been my future self has been fucking
Jeez,
tapping me on the
Jay.
shoulder. Yeah, I get it, but it's very slippery, slopey. Like I've been trying really hard, like since the beginning of March, and I've been slowly like half pound a week and whatever it is, like not fully committing, but going good. And then this week was the first week that it went back up a half a pound.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn, why? And then I just think of all the wings and the thing and not even doing all my
Flashbacks.
exercises and all that. And just like rightfully feel disappointed in myself, but it's just like, I don't know, this is a bitch statement. Just like, fuck, but I'm doing so much. And then when it doesn't even become enough, right? I just like, fucking, I feel, like I said, like I'm letting my future self down a little bit, but just like in the moment, it's just like, I feel not overcooked, but like overwhelmed, like having like feeling that. And how much of it is true because my leg is really bothering me. Like pain is a state of mind and it's all that, but
Yeah.
fucking day after day, week after week, month after month, like it's life. So to call it a grind that you can't do is kind of, you can't do that. You can't say that, but it is creeping in there.
Damn.
And it's like, it kind of does suck. So I'm really looking forward to getting better, but I'm worried. I'm wondering what that first week after surgery is going to be like.
Oh.
Like I'm thinking of the whole fucking 3 months off work type of thing and getting my rehab in and like no excuses for exercising and all that. Part of that's coming in now. Like I'm fucking working real hard and fucking coming home late, staying another 15 minutes because people are talking to me at work.
Ooh.
And like, it's like now I'm like working out till 8 o'clock and I can't do fucking, and it's just like so hard to do for the fucking umpteenth month in a row. And you can't think like that. Like it's not at my best. I'm not thinking like that. And it's kind of creeping into my head.
Mhm.
Like it's hard to deny that the wings and mac and cheese are tasty.
Yeah.
Like you want more. Like you offered me like peanuts today. And it's like, I got some peanut, like Tammy bought me peanuts last week and I'm kind of avoiding some of that shit. But like the whole bottle's almost gone because
shit.
I can't stop.
And you couldn't have my peanuts, Jay?
Because I don't like no, like I'm like I fucking draw that line. I already had sausages and biscuits today, so like no, today's kind of already a write off, right? But I've given myself these little rewards because I was still just whatever. I'm just trying to live my life without sacrificing some pleasures, type of thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And that's the whole part of the future self conversation.
Are you going to eat differently after your surgery?
If I don't, bro, I'm fucked. Like if I don't. Like,
Especially when you're not mobile.
it's not just that, like yes, like that part is, but even then, say like I'm in a good rehab mood and I'm doing stuff in the morning, like say I'm exercising like 3 different times during the day, because I'm trying to picture a world where I can get on the bike as much as possible. Like I'm used to working all day, I'm used to doing all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Once
that's
Tammy's
true.
not there, like she'd be there for the first 2 weeks. Like I got 2.5 months to really give myself every opportunity to be as fit as possible. It'll be a shame if I don't want to bank on that.
Yeah.
I'm not coming home and saying, "Oh, I'll be working out like a fiend over the next 3, like once my surgery's done." Like I'm just like, no, like keep going. And I did it in the morning. I just found reasons not to do it at night. And like I'm psychologically kind of drained about it. Like putting in the effort. Like you put in the effort at work, and it's easy for me to say keep going and do that, but it's really hard to still do it.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
like you giving me the thought, and it's good to hear, and like. But part of you's not checked out fully, but just like I'm not as invested. You guys don't appreciate it. I'm arguing with the scale. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing like it's just like no, like it's a fool's game. I'm just like I'm not looking for an out, but I'm just finding it out and taking it.
Mhm.
It's fucked because I haven't done it yet. But like the chance for me to just to be real lazy and to eat
Oh,
bad
don't
and
do
to be
it.
fucking like worse off after that 3 months is so real. Like
Yeah.
I have to fucking fight against that so
Don't
much.
do it, Jay.
I don't think I will, Brian, because
if you come back looking like Maduro, someone would be like, what the hell?
but I don't want to. Like enough of me doesn't really like want to live in that mode. Like I do think that I want this to work. This doesn't work without me having that kind of mindset. But it's so hard to not fill like boredom or like free time up with like munching on food. Like that's a me problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's also smoke. Am I going to fucking like? part of it's also a budget problem. I can't go out and get coffee and sausage McMuffins every fucking day.
Mhm.
I also can't afford to smoke fucking 3 grams of weed a day. Right? Like even at the best of times I can't, but never mind when I'm fucking not making that much, like all my money's gone. And so all the weed that I'm going to want to smoke all day when I'm just at home to do nothing
Oh yeah.
is going to fucking be very hard to fight against.
This is going to be a very interesting balancing act you're going to be doing
Yeah, but
with everything.
yeah, so I'm a little like interested to see how it goes.
God, me too.
I can
Can we film it?
I can see. No, I'm not doing a fucking docu video. Of
No,
fucking this kind
not a
of shit.
doc. Don't be silly. A reality show.
Hey man, if the money's right, I'll fucking get in there. Right? You can fucking doctor it up all you want. Yeah, it would be interesting. You know what I mean? Like it is all there, but I think because of the work that I've put in, this whole podcast fucking timeline, I've talked about future self, and I've been my best self, and I've been my worst self. I've never actually been my worst self.
Mhm.
Nobody's really the instincts have never left me, but my worst self has been long gone.
Mhm.
I am scared that it's going to pop out like at the fucking at inopportune time.
Yeah.
But what a wasted opportunity that would be. Like I use my work like this. I can be better, like we've talked about before, when I come from this, but not if I eat bonbons all day and smoke my face off all day.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's going to be a fucking fool's errand. I don't think I'm going to want that for myself. But I haven't done it yet. Like my instincts are to say the right thing and to do the wrong thing.
Mhm.
And so I until I do the right thing, then I'm just saying the right thing. So I'm a little nervous
Mhm.
that I won't do it. Like I didn't exercise. I haven't exercised in the morning before a show for weeks, for months. And for the first little bit, I would do it, and I'd find no real reason to not to. But there was no real reason for me to not to today. But I've been out of that kind of sync. It's like, no, I'm going to go do
It's
some
a
errands.
tough thing to get back into.
It is.
Very
It really
tough.
is. So, but this is now like I'm in a little bit of reset. You know, like I'm so the first week I don't think I'm going to realize how fully in pain I am going to be in and need Tammy's full help.
Especially when you're giving me all your drugs.
No, I'm going to be fucking taking all these drugs. I never mind.
What? You
I know, I've
said
changed
you
my
were...
mind. I
Jay,
might
what
give you
the
some.
fuck?
I might need the drugs. This is we're I didn't make any promises about the drugs. I think I might set something. Tammy has a friend who had this surgery not too long ago. She's younger than me, but she had like a hip problem from birth or whatever, right? And so she eventually got done. She says it's way better. Like she's so much better off now in doing that. But so we're asking her questions about like immediately after the surgery and how it was, type of thing. And she says it's so fucked up. She has video. I saw the video of it too. Like her, like kind of waking up in like the hospital bed. She had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days. Like I'm supposed to go home like the day after or the same day. But she woke, and her one leg is like huge swollen, right? Like compared to the other one. She woke. She goes, I think they put somebody else's leg on me. They got the wrong leg on.
Yeah.
And her husband's like, no, you're just fucking high. Like you fucking got that. And so she buzzed out. Then like a week later, they show her walking with a cane in the room, right? And so she said she progressed really good. She said she needed him really for the first week, and then she was a little bit more independent from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like when Selena's mom's boyfriend, like he had the surgery last year. No, was it during COVID? I think it was like at the tail end of COVID. And I was surprised how quick is same with the hip surgery. I was surprised how quick the comeback is. I was like, damn, like because like you said, after like a week or so, he was walking with a cane. And I'm like, this guy just had surgery, and then like months later, he's back playing baseball. He does a lot of baseball and hockey and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this guy's like back starting to do these type of things. Like he would come here and we would see him and he'd be playing with the kids. And I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, you just replaced the whole fucking hip.
did he have? So do you know like? And I don't know how detailed. Do you know how like his rehab went? Do you know how was he like? Did he have to work hard to get back to that point? Like, was he the type of guy that like gets it in the fucking gym?
No, he doesn't go to the gym, but I don't think it was that hard because that's why her mom and him really clicked together, because they've really been playing sports forever. They just never stopped doing sports. Bowling, golfing, baseball, hockey, like they've just continuously doing. So I think it was probably maybe a little easier for them. Like I'd be fucked because I'm not doing sports all this time. So But I think it was probably they're a little more mobile for their age. They're in their like mid-60s, mid to late. So yeah, I think that's probably why it was a little easier for them.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like as it's not like I'm sporty like that or doing that kind of stuff, but
But you have an active job.
yeah, and so, but I'm also like. I think, like I said, like having more time is just going to be able to make me rehab better than I can even just do right now. And I think like that's going to put me in a better spot. The eating and the cardio, like I am like a little concerned. I am interested to see how it's going to work out. Like I don't know. I don't want it to be. I want it to be in a way like a new beginning. And it's really like kind of like I wanted to. I wish I was in a better place right now, trying for like all these months to get better, but. I'm happy that I've tried as much as I have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, like it's, but like I said, until I do it, I can't really know. Like I just don't want to let myself down or anybody else down. So I think I'm going to do my best to get there. All this work I've put in for a lot of years now to be as best as the person I can be. I think I got to bank on that still being in there with me, right? Like the fact that I'm scared that I'm just going to smoke all day and eat bonbons is enough to stop me from doing it. If I was more here like, oh, I got this, I'm never going to let that happen again. I can hear the bullshit coming off of me already, right? And so I've at least got that. I think what I don't know, I got to go for some kind of pre-op meeting, not this Monday, but next Monday. And they're going to, I think I got to get like raised toilet seats and I got to have like walkers. Like they're going to talk us through all the things I kind of need before and after. So yeah, like I don't know how much pain, I don't know how much of those drugs that I'm not going to be able to give to you that I'm going to have to take.
None of them. I'll take them all.
But we will be missing a couple of shows.
Yeah.
There's certain things I can't do for like 6 weeks after the surgery. I can't have sex for like this is nobody here.
Are you
for
serious? 6 weeks? God damn, bro. Sorry.
I hear you, man. No, I'm not asking for any fucking favor. I'm just saying these are one of the. I can't open the oven door. There's many more things. The sex for 6 weeks is the fucking thing on the top of the list.
Yeah.
So I
smoking.
I can be. So
Drinking?
I can't smoke days before the surgery.
Drinking.
I don't know how often. I don't know how before. I'm sure that days before and after I can't.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna X out drinking.
For how
for
many?
Like a couple weeks, they're probably going to.
Before and after, or just
I think
after?
just after.
But if I'm putting these drugs in my body, like what's wrong with alcohol too?
I agree with you.
So this is
What's
where
wrong with the
again,
mix, the combo?
and edibles. Like if I can't smoke, I can still take edibles, right?
Why not?
So this, when I hear myself talk like this and go in there, this is where I realize like I'm not. I don't know. I think I'm fucking being real retarded on how I'm going to feel that first week. Like I'm not going to want to drink.
Yeah.
I'm just going to want to fucking like.
Oh yeah.
I guess I need to pee in a bottle. I need to fucking like. We got 5 more weeks of no sex.
You're gonna be in pain. Oh, this sounds like
So
terrible.
I'm gonna have way too many more problems on my hands to deal with like the pleasures of the world that I'm going to want.
Just don't buy it. Take all the alcohol out of your house. I'll hold it for you. Don't you worry.
Well, what if the strike's still going on? So
Then I'll be going to your bar cart.
There's enough fucking. You got your own too. Yeah, yours will be long gone.
Exactly.
You get the rotation in your bar cart is a little bit different than the rotation in my bar cart. I notice that every time I come over here. So people that where we're from in Ontario know that we have this thing called the LCBO. Luckily, the rest of the people in the world that fucking listen to this have more options than we do when it comes to buying our
They
alcohol.
have no concept.
It's fucking, when you really think of it, it's like it's a controlled situation.
Yeah.
So here in Ontario, we have all the things that we do. Like we have to get our booze from a place called the LCBO. Slowly, they've been like taking some of that control away from them, and like wine is now sold in like supermarkets.
Yeah.
Beer has been sold in supermarkets for a while.
Ciders.
In Quebec, that's kind of been the situation for a long time,
Yeah.
and I'm sure it's like that in Alberta.
I
I don't think there's an LCBO type.
No, but they do have like actual liquor stores. Yeah.
Oh, they don't have it like you can't go down an alley of Walmart. You can't buy vodka at the Walmart in fucking Alberta.
No.
So we've grown up. Brian and I've grown up with this concept, so it's not a big deal for us to go to a beer store or a liquor store.
Yeah.
Even when they've been in the grocery stores, I still go to the beer store because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
They sell the 2-4, not the 6-pack, and all that other shit.
More options.
If they sold all the booze in a fucking store, then I can see me never going to the LCBO again. like even in the States, even in something, they have liquor stores.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy like Don Julio at just a Walmart. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know how it works. I'm sure different states have their different things.
That's like the only thing that maybe LCBO has going for them is that just so much of a wide selection that grocery stores, they're going to have to be a little more selective compared to a place that's dedicated to all liquor.
Even when we talk, I agree. Like that's 100% true. But they also are limiting themselves to what they select that goes in there.
Yeah,
You
for
talked about
sure.
the wineries you were at. Some of
Yeah.
them just don't have enough product to go in there.
They're going to have to stop that.
They're gonna have. So this is where I don't feel for them.
Yeah.
Like as an entity, it's not that convenient. I'm just used to the fact that like I know there's experts like in there. I can ask them anything, but really I already know what I'm getting when I go there.
Yeah.
I've very rarely found anybody that isn't just as good as a dollar store clerk or a fucking or a grocery store clerk. Like everybody's just doing a job.
Yeah.
You're frustrated, you know what I mean? You can't fucking get your ideas heard and all that, and eventually you might, but these people are just like me. They're just going there to fucking clock in and clock out. So, but they're government workers. So they're very compensated for their fucking work.
Absolutely.
The fact that they make anywhere close to what we make, or even if more for being a dollar store clerk, is infuriating to me. But I don't live in that infuriation. They get those jobs. It's fine. It is what it is. For you to go on strike because of job security, like you're not sending us to the moon. You're not curing a disease. You're a fucking you don't even press a button. You scan something. If your job can be taken over by a fucking scanning thing, then you're not quite necessary. Like I think they only have the ability to be on strike for a human resources way, that we like people to have jobs.
That's fair.
And so I can't. I want it to fail. Like this is where it's a little bit of a conspiracy. Like maybe this is where the whole thing got brought up. We can still get booze delivered.
Yeah.
Right? Like the LCBO is only closed by these actual people that pick up the bottle and scan it over a fucking scanner.
That is true.
We can get it delivered now. So this is a way, just like if you wanted to say fucking like the conspiracy of COVID was to have us do more home shopping, was to have us work from home more, was whatever, control the population, all these other kind of things. But if their agenda was to make fucking home delivery a thing more, then it worked. If the LCBO is just like, how
do we become Amazon?
And so we're more like, think of home delivery before you go to the store itself.
Fuck that. I'm never going to any stores. I'm Amazon. I'm LCBOing everything.
What's the difference? You just have to wait 2 to 5 days.
Yeah, just order a little earlier.
And so once you get used to that, then you're fucked. So in a way, if I was the boss of the LCBO, I'd be like, yeah, please go on strike. Like we're never going to, you're fucking, and this is, I don't understand unions that much and whatever, but it's like, you're never going to get what you're fighting for.
No.
Like, I don't know. Am I wrong to think that they should just feel grateful that they have the job they do? Like what?
Yes and no. They're indoctrinated into being this way, right? They've been doing it for so long that's just what they're used to. So when anything starts to threaten it, they're automatically entitled, right?
Yes, but I mean, for you and I, I understand that too. But just like that's false entitlement.
Yeah, we don't care.
We don't care.
If-
We are the average consumer. Together,
Yeah,
we go more than the average person.
absolutely.
You are raising the bar here with their fucking with their total going. But if it was the beer store, I would have a different opinion because I need beer more now. But if I had to just get it ordered, then I would have just been like, just like you yesterday. You're going up north, fucking in a couple weeks. That'll be the beginning. I started this part of the conversation saying that we're going to miss some shows, but we'll get back there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going up north with the whole family, a big family trip, and you realize like, oh my God, I won't be able to get alcohol for that trip.
Yeah.
So you sent the wife back out to get more fucking alcohol.
She
When
said
we
no.
admire her, she went to the delivery site.
Yeah.
And so we were doing the groceries thing, and we brought her up, and it was like, Selena wouldn't be fucking dragging herself to the fucking store today. Selena's smart enough to fucking get fucking.
It's right there.
We've been praising your girl up about her overcooked skills, about her fucking delivery skills. Selena's name's been ringing high in our house these days. So yeah, same thing. Like you just get used to that, and so that's why I thought, the beer store will be more of a hassle for a guy like me than the liquor store is. My card is full enough; it'll be fine. But once you found out, so okay, so what do I got to do? It wasn't like they have the power to stop you from getting it.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, what are you really doing here?
Yeah, nothing.
And nothing. So it's kind of annoying that they have that feeling about it. But
Fuck it, go on 2 weeks. And when they see that the home delivery spiked and they see that this is actually a viable model, they're not going to be running to that negotiation table.
I think it eventually. This is where they don't know it. I don't know. Their part in this conspiracy is just being complicit about going on strike. Like, or you want to go, the strike bosses are in on this.
Absolutely. You know what's funny? Because I was reading their what they want in the strike, and they were saying how they don't want any of their jobs to be lost due to liquor being sold in the stores. You know, now it's going to be lost due to freaking home delivery.
So that's a great point.
Right?
Your mind has even gone to that. You look at the wording of it, and it seems to be for job security, but there's little details left out.
Oh yeah,
you fucking know from grocery delivering. Like, no, nobody mentioned the delivery part. Like, really? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So then it gets to your mind. Then if you're fucking high on weed all the time and you're conspiracy minded, you automatically go, for sure the strike bosses know about this.
They got to.
See? So it's never going to get out of your mind. That's not what's being sold to us, but your experience teaches you otherwise.
Yeah.
When you worked at the airport, was there any ever strike at the airport?
We almost had a
every now and
strike.
then.
We almost had a strike in our company, yeah.
And that was as just like baggage handler, or what kind of, was that like a bigger union issue?
Yeah, it was no, that was for it was the whole Swissport. It was the company. It was the whole thing. They just wanted they pitched it to us. The union pitched it to us as more money and raises and stuff. But yeah, it never ended up happening.
Because that's, again, was something that me just like, I get it. Like, that's an essential public service, right? We have certain things, but it's not promised to us that our flight will be on time. It's not promised to us that everything.
That's
it's
true.
got to be run in a certain way. And so if you see it from more of a, sorry, lack of a better term, like important position, like air traffic controllers or something like that, comes across bigger to the general public like me.
Yeah.
Right? Like baggage handlers, whatever. Like, they should be happy. I almost can say that. They could be happy they got a job or whatever, right?
They
like,
could,
you just see it. You downplay the importance of how they make the whole thing run. If you're in that business, you're like, no, I'm the whole part of it. But you're not.
It's most of it.
It'd be like me or Booby quitting our work, saying like, oh, you guys don't know what we do for you.
Yeah.
I see.
The consequences are slightly different because it's airport type things.
And that's where
everybody is replaceable for sure. For sure, everybody's replaceable.
And if you become replaceable by a scanning machine or
man,
delivery service,
way
then
easier.
I have less sympathy for you.
Yeah.
Like, wrongly, I just fucking think like you should just be grateful. And I don't think that's a great attitude to have.
What should they be doing otherwise? Just moving on to something else?
I don't know. Maybe. Like, I don't. I'll be at this kind of position sooner than later than you, because like this is almost why I was going for another position. Just like, I can do this. I have it. And maybe I can't climb these ladders anymore. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a time that you use your experience to help the company in a way like this, instead of just, this isn't how you 100% sold, but just like selfishly just coming in and building a truck, right? Not for status. Like, there's all these other things to like fill into it, but it's like, no, I'm happy here doing that. I don't want the reward of trying to make it better. And we have to go, well, don't you like the company? Don't you this and that? It's like, I wish I didn't like him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should just think of myself more instead of the company like that. And so, but I realize I'm going to get to a point where it's just going to be too fucking hard. Like, it's just going to be, like, I don't know, like I got this time coming off because of surgery. Like, the closer it comes, I'm building to this point where I just want to fucking get it done. Like, it's not a hassle to come to work and do all that, but it's like, it's hurting a little bit more. Or I'm having trouble working out when I come home from work. And I'm feeling the effect of this point coming to like a head, and a little bit unsure of what was going to happen in the future. But I'm going to come to this point again later.
Yeah,
like that Mike guy or Dave, whatever his name is, he's like 60 at work, so place. Like, of course he's not going to be as fast as everybody. He's 60 years old, right? He's just doing that, but like he still gets by. He still does his thing, right? It's not thought of in a certain way. So, but eventually, like, how does it come to a point where you don't want to do it anymore? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's me and my ability. If my skill gets taken over by a robot, like, I can't go on strike because of that.
You could.
Yeah, in a human resources type of way.
Yeah.
but nobody that's not a nobody. Everybody else in the world would just think like, I'm surprised there's not more robot welders.
They don't understand.
I get it, but we all go to the store, so like we understand why there's self checkouts.
Yeah.
Are we that unless you have a fucking mom or fucking a family member or a friend that works as a grocery store clerk, you don't give a fuck. You look at it, go, oh, you might be like, oh, the lines are longer. Oh, they're making me do all my work. Like, oh, these fucking grocery stores are trying to get some more profit for the company.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, well, of course they are. And then you just scan your own groceries.
Yep.
You don't think the world has gone to shit. But what that person who's not doing a grocery clerk anymore, I don't know what they do. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I can't weld anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And so I don't know what these people do when they don't. But just because you don't know what you're going to do anymore doesn't mean you get to hold the world at hostage.
Yeah, from moving forward.
Yeah, so I feel that way about this kind of strike.
I agree.
All right, I'm glad that you do that. So
Yeah.
we will be okay.
It's funny. I was actually fully prepared to disagree with you this whole time.
How
But
dare you?
Because
Why?
when you talked about it at work, I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow."
Do
But
you think they're right? You have a part of you that thinks they're right?
in terms of job rights, but at the end of the day, you know I'm a very forward-thinking person, and you guys are holding us back from having liquor in all these stores and stuff, and you're holding me back from preparing for my trip. Fuck that.
Yeah, I
Fuck
changed your
that.
mind, and you admitted it. That's
Yeah.
great. Oh, I'm fucking glad you're deep into the thing. This is going to not translate well. So I got the F1. I'm subscribed to the F1 TV app.
Yes.
Right, because I'm suckered into this fucking sport because of you.
Yeah, baby.
And we got all these. I got my IPTV, so I have to watch the race right at the time it is. And
Silverstone, baby.
so that track looks sick to me.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like, is it
I
one of
love
the
that
better? I
track.
know it's because it's in England. It gets more extra hype than you know. What I mean, like some other tracks might, but compared to Monaco, where it's just name only,
Yeah.
like this looks like a real racetrack.
Oh yeah.
Like I love watching them go
I
around
love
this track.
this one. I love this one. I love Mexico. Mexico's track
Okay.
is crazy.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah,
as much.
watch this year. You have to watch it.
I will. I'm gonna definitely pay more attention. So I got all the frustrated. So I got the F1 TV app and watch it. The hardest place for me to watch my F1 TV app is on TV. You, just like you almost tried to defend the fucking LCBO employees, defended that position for a long. And you still
Yes
might.
and no.
You still might.
Yes and no.
You were like, oh, fucking all your bullshit. It's an Android thing. It's apps and all this. It's like you can't call yourself something TV and make it hard for me to be on TV.
Yes, but it's just not that easy.
Chromecasting, all this bullshit you
It's
brought
not
up.
that easy for
I don't-
companies to do. Just
And then
do
you
that.
said it's on the Fire Stick, and that even drove me
Did you
more
check
insane.
it?
No,
Oh.
because I don't care that much. I don't
Well,
have a
Fire Stick is based on Android, so
So why isn't it on my box? So anyway, I didn't talk to the guy about like I might still get it on that box.
you still didn't look yet.
No, because I thought he might have phoned me on that Tuesday. I was supposed to have a FaceTime appointment with him or whatever.
Yeah,
And then he didn't call us. So I wondered if I had to call him or whatever. And again, I'm just like, I was fucking exhausted from work. Like I really didn't want to fucking talk to anybody.
yeah,
I didn't really care that much. To be honest, I didn't mind watching it on the tablet.
yeah.
Like it's like I'm focused, I'm staring at it. The app is great, man. Like it really, like I think it sounds better on the app for some reason. All the other kind of things you can get in on it or whatever. But this is obviously just between me and you because nobody really cares. But last week was amazing fucking race.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons for my betting fucking purposes. Like I was on a huge roll. I should have kept my fucking mouth shut. I was on a huge roll. And I was on a fucking another winning, trajectory, like 7 laps to go. And then Max Verstappen lost his shit.
Yeah.
So I think you said it was like, was that like one of the few times that Max like looked like a human instead of a robot?
Yeah.
Again, this is just between me and you or whatever. Who was more at fault with that? Max or the guy? Max was in first, fucking went off the track and fell back a little bit. And the guy, Lando, in second, caught up his 4 or 5 seconds that he was behind. And then they were actually racing for a minute.
Yeah.
And I know what I think, but then what happened, do you think? Just racing?
Max was being an idiot. I mean, it was racing.
Of course.
It was racing for sure. But I think Max, he just doesn't want to lose at all. He has none of that. And so even if it's his best friend and he cuts him off in the corner a little bit, gets too close instead of giving him enough space, he's doing it. So I think it's all his fault, realistically. I think
do
it's
too.
part of hard racing, but it's his fault.
I do, in a way, I respect the champ using everything in his power,
Yeah.
right? Like if it was a boxer, you know what I mean? Like Ali used like a rope, you know what I mean, or whatever, or Ali, the champ has like the respect of the judges because he's been there, done. You know what I mean? Like you got to knock the champ out, like to get the champ in, and so back to the wrestling, like they go do all the dirty tricks to stay on top.
Yeah.
There is I don't know how to put this. I was expecting some more gentlemanly, like that was a bitch move.
Yes.
Like, never mind the money or the fuck that I would have lost or whatever, but and not to want your friend to win. Like once the game starts, like nobody's friends.
Yeah,
Nobody
sure.
wants any of that, and I see that
for sure.
But anything that you do that you get a pet, like it just ruined the race, like in a complete. Like you couldn't take the loss. I assume that it's not like anybody else. Like what? Like all of a sudden Hamilton's fine with losing. Like no, and he doesn't fucking do that kind of shit.
No,
he's like in this battle with the way that him and Russell are racing this year is compliment. Like they're like there's like I applaud it.
Yeah,
like
for
it's
sure.
even different than fucking the Ferraris are racing. You can see more contention there.
Yeah,
you see the fucking Alpines, like the way that
God.
like the way the inner teams like fight each other. Like it's like actually more like pissy, like, you know what I mean, like personal compared to just business. Like you know what I mean, like team rules. You know what I mean, like whatever, like the safety of our money in the cards and going in there. I would have fucking loved Max to just try to get the spot back.
Yeah, that would have been a way better.
You didn't think you could get it back.
Honestly,
I don't know. So it's not the end of the world, but it looks more sucky to me than championship pedigree. Like a real champion would have accepted that they made a mistake.
Yep.
And like
when they go, he leaned into that mistake.
Yes. Yeah, he made it worse.
Bad. Yep.
He made it worse. It was like, okay, yeah, you went off track. Everybody kind of does. Like, it happens to like the best of us. And so that's why you lost your lead. And that's fine. But then to fucking like to be in the wrong that hard and to ruin everything else for everybody else in the race. Like
except for George Russell.
Well, there's always somebody that wins.
Yeah.
Right? Like if somebody had George Russell to win for that race, they don't give a shit about me and my bad bet.
Like, thank God. But it shows like because they used to say like this is how he used to race when there was the whole Hamilton feud. He used to do they crashed into each other a lot. Right?
That's interesting.
And he matured, and everybody used to say, oh yeah, he matured. He's so much of a more mature racer now. He's doing all this kind of stuff. And the moment he's actually getting, because this pressure's been building up for at least 3-4 races.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The moment the pressure is too much, he reverts right back to that same old
bitch ass.
Yeah, bitch ass movement.
Immaturity.
It's like, come on, man, you're better than that. First off, like you said, I would have no doubt that you could catch him and pass him at another turn. Like, there's no doubt. You're already regarded as one of the best racers, if not the best racer right now. He is the best racer right now,
of course.
So like, I think it was fucked up.
Okay,
Max.
I wasn't trying to change your mind there. I just thought that was kind of sucky, and I was expecting more. And it does speak to the way that it was. So at the time, I wasn't into the F1. I just knew of it, and I watched it on the fucking show, the Drive to Survive. And when you see that the first year that Max beat Hamilton and how that whole thing went down, at the time, in my mind, Max was the underdog, right? Like you look at it objectively, you can see that it's hard to not take your Hamilton fanness out of it to see that Hamilton was wronged. Right? You see, but at the time, it's just like, fuck Hamilton. Like he's already won enough.
7.
I discounted how wrong that decision was.
Yeah.
Right? It took watching the show Drive to Survive to see Mercedes' point of view from that, to see how hurt and fucked over Hamilton was on that.
Yeah.
And then there's really been no comeback. Like they took off from that moment, and he's never been able to recapture that. But Hamilton's acted like a champion ever since, right? He's never fucking whined about it. Like he's leaving Mercedes, but he's giving their all now. Like he's still taking care of number one, like his way. But he's an ultimate teammate when it comes to Russell. He's an ultimate teammate when it comes to Mercedes, and he's an ultimate champion when like his actions speak. And Max, in my mind, just took a big, huge step back from that being that.
Yeah,
just because you're the shit right now, like. people forget. You get teased about your friend about Hamilton, but people forget. Like, no, man, this is so long that he's been acting this way.
Yep.
He is who he shows you who he is.
He absolutely
and
is.
it gave me more respect for that. Like, Max is a long way. It's easy to show grace when you win by 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And then everything that you look at afterwards is little whininess to the fucking crew on the radio all the time. And everything you look at second lead, it's like, it's really not championship fucking material.
Yeah, like, what are you doing, man?
And so sorry, Sip. It makes me can't wait till he's not dominant again. Like, I know he's great.
Yeah.
It makes me want to cheer against him.
And well, that time is coming because as you can tell, it's really only his driving that's keeping him where he is. And that's not lasting right now.
It makes it a lot really interesting. So
it's so much better. We've had already 4 different winners this year.
So I'm in. That's why I got the app. That's why I watch it on my thing.
You need to at least check if you can get the app on your Android box. Just check if it's there. Don't download it. Just go to the App Store and check if it's there.
True. Like, just go to the Google Play and then see if it's there, and then maybe FaceTime the buddy and say, can I put this on there?
Because if it's there and available, then that makes everything simple.
If it's the fucking side load thing or the other bullshit you were talking about, that makes it a little bit more.
It's a little more complicated.
Or I can just fucking grab my Fire Stick and to see if there's my bitch ass old TVs. I don't know if I have enough fucking inputs to put another fucking Fire Stick in it. All your fucking TVs probably have 7 fucking inputs. But
about 4 or 5. Yeah.
See, I didn't even think of that. Right? So I got like too many fucking video games hooked up to it, too many things like that. So, so I think that's going to be it for today.
Yeah.
We are back next week.
We are.
But unfortunately Brian will be going up north for the week after, and then my surgery happens. So there's a chance that we're going to miss at least, for sure, 3, maybe 4. I don't know how. This is where I was trying to get. I don't know what I can do in the weeks after my surgery.
We'll figure it out.
We can't bring the studio over to my house, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we can get you over with a mic and a tablet or something.
Possibly, yeah.
But I believe 2 weeks after my thing, I can probably get over here. And I'm not coming. If my recovery won't allow me to have a shot of tequila with you, then I'm not coming over. We're not doing the show until my doctor says I can have some more tequila.
We need tequila, damn it.
And if they're still on strike, then we'll have to make sure we fucking order ahead of time.
Yeah, we will.
All right, bro.
I want to thank everyone for listening to the Work Related Podcast.
We are related by work on X.
Yes.
See you guys next week.